Hi, I'm Karin Cockram, and I am here after recording my Corona Cowbooks to read you my Pandemic Pig series. There are 3 that I've done so far, and Pandemic Pig is about a little pig and her family and what they do sometimes to entertain themselves when they are stuck in a pandemic and things are not quite normal. So I thought I would read to you Pandemic Pig Goes on a Bear Hunt, and then Penelope Pig, who is Pandemic Pig's sister, learns the alphabet, and then Pan and Penny Pig love numbers. This is Pandemic Pig. Her friends call her Pan. Pandemic Pig lives with her mom, dad, sister Penelope, and Grandma Rose. She loves spending time at home with her family. Right now, she's spending a lot of time at home with her family. She thinks it's great that she is getting to do classes online and with her parents. She likes her relaxing mornings and even sometimes spending all day in her pajamas. Pandemic Pig knows that staying home, washing her hands, wearing a mask when she's out and about, and keeping a safe distance from other people are the best things she can do to keep herself and her family and friends safe and healthy during a pandemic. But some days, Pandemic Pig wants to get out of the house. She wants to see something different. She gets antsy. One day, Pan felt a little extra antsy about staying inside and grumpy about doing her lessons. Mom was helping Penny with math. Dad was at a conference using Zoom. Grandma Rose sat down and said, "I think we need to do something different today. What do you say about going on a bear hunt?" "Grandma Rose," said Pan, "where are we going to find a bear?" Grandma Rose winked. "Just keep your eyes open and see what you see. Go get your mask, Pan," she said. Pandemic Pig ran to get her favorite mask and one for Grandma Rose, and they set off down the street. At first, Pan was confused, but all of a sudden, "Look, Grandma Rose, look, I see one," she cried, "and there's another and another." It looked as if the entire village had known that kids and adults would need something fun to do. There were teddy bears in so many windows. Big ones and small ones, some with masks and some without. There were happy bears and serious bears and grumpy looking ones too. There were bears everywhere. Pandemic Pig and Grandma had lots of fun looking for bears. Maybe that's something you could do too. And the second one is Penelope Pig learns the alphabet. Penelope Pig was grumpy. Her mom was helping her sister Pan with her piano lesson. Dad was mowing the lawn. Penelope was tired of trying to learn the alphabet. Her eyes were tired of looking at the computer. Her hoofs were tired of tracing the letters. She still didn't know whether the letter P came before or after Q and O. It was just too confusing. Penelope put her head down on the table. She wasn't sure if she wanted to cry or throw something, so she just sat there. Grandma Rose came into the room. "Are you frustrated, Penny?" she asked. Penelope didn't lift her head off the table, but she nodded. "Would you like a break?" asked Grandma Rose. Penelope felt tears starting. "I can't," she cried. "I have to learn the alphabet." "I think I might know of a way that you could do both," said Grandma Rose. "Would you like to try taking a break and learning the alphabet at the same time?" Penelope picked her head up. "How can we do that?" she asked. "Get your mask, Penny, and then come with me," Grandma Rose replied. Once Grandma Rose and Penelope had their masks on, they headed outdoors. "Now," said Grandma Rose, "we're going to play a game. You tell me the first letter of the alphabet." "A," replied Penelope. "Good," said Grandma Rose. "Now we're going to look around until we see a letter A somewhere. It can be on anything, so keep your eyes open." Penelope and Grandma Rose had only walked a few feet when Penelope yelled, "Look, look, Grandma Rose, I found one." "That's terrific, Penny," said Grandma Rose. "Now, what's the next letter?" "B," yelled an excited Penelope. "So," said Grandma Rose, "we need to find a B next, don't we?" Penelope started to run ahead, but stopped almost immediately. "Grandma Rose," she whispered excitedly, "I think I see a lot of letters right there." She reached for Grandma Rose's hand. "Is it okay to find a lot of letters in the same place?" Grandma Rose smiled. "Of course it is," she answered. Penelope was very happy. She tugged Grandma Rose's hand again. Excuse me. Let's keep going. I see some more letters over there. Penelope pointed to the town square. Whoops, I missed a page. I didn't. There's a big sign with lots of letters, she said. What letters do we need next? Asked Grandma Rose. C, D, E, F, G, and H, said Penelope. Penelope and Grandma Rose found those letters on a mailbox, a sign, and way up high, written inside a gazebo. Penelope and Grandma Rose had so much fun walking all over town looking for letters. But by the time they got to the letter M, Penelope and Grandma Rose were both getting very tired. Maybe we should find a place to sit down and have a snack, said Grandma Rose. Yes, please, said Penelope. That looks tough. Penelope and Grandma Rose found an outside table at one of their favorite places. Before Grandma Rose could ask Penelope what she wanted for a snack, Penelope noticed the letters on the menu and saw some more on a post beside the restaurant. Grandma Rose, I can see the letter N from here, she said. But then she frowned. This is where I always get stuck, she said as she started to pout. I don't remember what's next. O? Asked Grandma Rose. Penelope looked at her. It is O, isn't it? She asked. Grandma Rose nodded. I see an O on the menu, said Penelope, and a P too. I bet you'll remember the order now, N-O-P, because you found them all at the restaurant, right? Asked Grandma Rose. I bet I will, replied Penelope. After a delicious slice of watermelon, Grandma Rose and Penelope started back home. They still had lots of letters to find. They looked at road signs and license plates. They looked at the sides of trains and on buildings. By the time they got home, they had found all of the letters of the alphabet in order. Penelope was sure that she would never forget the order of letters again, but if she ran into trouble, she also knew that there would be someone to help her find a fun way to remember. Have you ever looked for the alphabet where you live? Try it sometime. It might be lots of fun. And the last Pen and Penny book so far is called Pan and Penny Pig Love Numbers. These are the Pig sisters, Pandemic and Penelope. Some people call them Pan and Penny. Pandemic and Penelope both love math. They love learning about different things they can do with numbers. They especially like counting and adding. One day, though, they were tired of the same math games and the same math worksheets that they had been doing at home for months. They wanted to do something different. Mom was getting groceries. Dad was taking a nap. However, Grandma Rose was ready for a fun adventure. Let's go have some math fun outside, she said. Pan and Penny grabbed their masks and one for Grandma Rose, and they were off. Pan, why don't you look for numbers first, and Penny can see if she can find that number of objects close by, said Grandma Rose. That will be fun, Pan and Penny answered together. Pan found the number 8 on a house. Penny found 8 buttercups. Pan found the number 7 on a license plate. Penny found 7 painted stones. Pan found the numbers 14, 10, and 1. Penny found 14 seeds, 10 shells, and 1 truck. I could play this all day long, said Penny. Me too, said Pan. I would love to too, answered Grandma Rose, but your mom is going to have dinner ready soon. Let's just find 3 more numbers before we head back home. You said my favorite number, the number 3, said Pan, and I see a 3 right over there. That's easy, said Penny. I see 3 pigs. She giggled as she pointed to herself, Pan, and Grandma Rose. Okay, said Pan, I'm going to make the next one hard then. She looked around for a moment, then smiled and said, I see the number 5,201 on that sign over there. Penny frowned, and then a big smile crossed her face. I see 5,201 blades of grass. You can count them if you don't believe me. They all laughed. Last number, Grandma Rose reminded them. Okay, said Pan, the last number I see is 4. Penny looked around. It's lucky that we're right next to the library, she said, because I see 4 columns. Grandma Rose, Pan, and Penny turned and headed for home. They could hardly wait to tell Mom and Dad about their counting adventure. Would you like to go on a counting adventure too? If you do, Pan and Penny hope you have as much fun as they did. those are my Pandemic Pig books, and both the Pandemic Pig books and the Corona Cow books can be found at the Farmers Market in Westfield if you're at all interested. And the Corona Cow books are on Kindle, available through Amazon if you're interested. Thank you so much to Patterson Library and Miss Amy for letting me read, and for Mr. Austin for doing his phenomenal job of videotaping again. Bye.